Are you tired of getting no views on your YouTube Shorts? If you are, you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm gonna share the top 3 tips that I use to get hundreds of thousands of views. And before you scroll away, this isn't some ad for a $500 internet course. These are 3 real tips that I've used and I'm gonna give to you for free. All right, the beginning of the video is over, so I feel like I can turn off the YouTuber persona now. My name is zeedubyah. This is Highway 7 Video, and I'm here to give you some tips today about how to get more views on your YouTube Shorts. So for those of you who don't know, I have a second YouTube channel. Shameless plug right here, go check out Z Dungeon. I started this channel in January this year with the intention of pretty much only creating YouTube Shorts. In 8 months, I was able to generate over 500,000 views, which I know those aren't life-changing views, but it has been very interesting to change my approach and see how the view counts just keep going up. So my first tip for you today is use a bold attention-grabbing statement. So with this bold attention-grabbing statement, you're trying to stop users from scrolling. In the short-form content ecosystem, people are scrolling endlessly, and you want to say something that catches them within the first second. The things that I've done and have found a lot of success are saying these really bold, like crazy statements, and then walking them back in the rest of the sentence. So for example, I was talking about learning your character's kit in D&D, and so I started out with the line, D&D sucks if you don't know what you're doing. There was another time that I was talking about the lucky feat in D&D, and I said, lucky is broken. At least that's what everybody online says. And so you can see there's a clear pattern here of saying something that I might not even necessarily agree with. And the actual rest of the video was about how I didn't think this feat was actually broken. But I started out with a quote from other people online, and so it makes it seem at first like that's what I'm saying, but it's not really what I'm saying. To wrap this first tip up, I think you should always start out with something very bold, and you can always say something and then claim it to be a quote of one of your detractors or the people that you're talking about in your video. For tip 2, I'm gonna say you need to include a thumbnail shot. So for YouTube Shorts, you cannot upload a thumbnail. So when you're making your YouTube short, it's important to think about what your thumbnail shot will actually be. You have to bake your thumbnail into your video. And it's really helpful to, like when you're writing the script for your video, to actually just like write a line that states the concept of the video or something, and then that will be your thumbnail shot. In conjunction with your bold opening statement, this just follows right afterwards. That's kind of the structure that I've used. So for example, I have a video where it says, being a bad D&D player is easy, but being the worst takes practice. And then here's more tips on how to be the worst D&D player at your table. Obviously, our bold opening statement is, being a bad D&D player is easy, but being the worst takes practice. So that is kind of very bold, attention grabbing. Oh, being a bad player is easy? What? And then it leads into, here's another tip on how to be the worst D&D player at your table. So when I record that and then when I go in to edit it, I know that that one sentence is going to be my thumbnail shot. So like when I'm doing my captions and stuff like that, I'll get rid of all the captions and I'll just put the actual title of the video in right there, so that when I upload the YouTube short, I can just pick that out, pick that frame for the thumbnail. So it's really important whenever you're doing this to like really add all the bells and whistles to that thumbnail shot, because that's what people are going to be seeing and that's what people are going to be clicking on. So for me, that's like a bunch of cartoons. For you, it might be a picture of you. Maybe you're super attractive, and so maybe it's just like a really good looking, shot of you. Maybe it's one of those things where they've got what they're talking about, but it's censored, to get people's attention. There's a large variety of ways to do this, and your niche will be different, but I would really suggest baking in a video thumbnail shot into your production process. And my last tip for you today is to keep it 80-20. So about 80% of your work should be done in the first couple seconds of your video. In the online short form ecosystem, you are vying for so many people's attention against so many other creators. And we kind of already alluded to this. So with our bold attention grabbing statement, with our thumbnail shot, we want everything to look really good within the first 5 seconds. We don't want people to wait for like the really good stuff. And you can see a lot of this in other short form content. Like, I don't know if anybody else watches cooking videos, but you notice they show like the cooked thing at the beginning of the video now. They really give you the good stuff right at the opening of the video to hook you to watch the process. And I think that we can learn a lot from this. Traditional storytelling has told us that we need to keep people on the hook for a long time before giving this payoff. But modern short form content prioritizes instant dopamine hits. So finding some way in your intro to trigger that dopamine hit, whether it's like a really good shot of you, or it's some animated thing, or you're using some effects from CapCut, something like that. But spending about 80% of your time just on the first couple of seconds of the short is gonna guarantee that it has the energy and motion to hook people who are endlessly doom scrolling and get them to watch the rest of your video. And once you have those first couple seconds done, you can kind of turn it down for the rest of the edit. My videos are mostly 30 to 45 seconds, somewhere around there. And I found that if I can get people hooked within the first 3 seconds of the video, they're probably gonna watch the rest of it. So I'll front load my videos with animations, flashy effects. And then as time goes on, you know, for the rest of the video, it's just still images on title cards, things like that. And it is very disheartening to spend like an hour and a half animating 3 seconds or something like that, or working on that thumbnail shot, things like that. But that's just the way that short form content works. So yeah, by using these 3 tips, I've been able to grow my following. I hope that you can take something away from this video. And if you do use these tips and they do help you, come back to this video and give me some comments, because I would love to watch your content, and maybe even give some feedback. Maybe we can learn some stuff from each other. And while you're there, you might as well like the video and subscribe to our channel. After all the mean comments left on our Eddington video, I think Walker could really use the mood boost, so please hit that subscribe button. And that's all I have for you, so I'll see you in the next one.